Transmite en su canal de frecuencia modulada e estereofónica multiplex La Voz Radio, desde New Haven, Connecticut, al mundo.
Hello and good afternoon. We're live on WNHH 103.5 FM from downtown New Haven, streaming live La Voz Hispana en Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and www.lavozhispanaradio.com. Aquí estamos vivos por WUNHH 103.5 FM, La Voz Hispana Radio, desde downtown New Haven, vivo por La Voz Hispana CT, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, www.lavozhispanaradio.com. Hoy tenemos un invitado especial a esta hora. Tenemos al señor Jeff Stewart con la organización Me and the Boyz. Right now joining me live from Bridgeport, Connecticut, Mr. Jeff Stewart with his organization, part of the organization Me and the Boyz. Mr. Stewart, we were talking earlier about your background and how you got involved. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and how did you get to Me and the Boyz?
My name is Jeff Stewart. Me and the Boyz really started out as like a family organization, and it just grew to becoming to service our community. It was really one of those things where we as men in our family didn't really know what each person was doing or what they were going through. So we started to have meetings on my father's back porch, and it grew to what we are now, a bunch of men who mentor the urban youth of Fairfield counties and the surrounding areas.
Dice el señor que eso es una idea que empezó con esta es una organización familiar que empezó en la yarda de su papá y los habían latinos y gente de color allí que se unieron y no sabían que uno y lo otro estaban haciendo. Se organizaron y ahora hacen diferentes eventos para la comunidad. Y están envueltos y son mentores para la juventud en la área de Bridgeport específicamente, pero el Fairfield entero. Ellos traen el servicio para ayudar a la juventud de minoría en su ciudad. So you were saying earlier that this is not just a couple of black folk. This is black and Latinos. You have a wide range of individuals. How does that work? How does that come together that you bring all these personalities? How does that happen?
Well, to be a member, you have to be referred to us by someone in the group. We do have open season between April and June. Is when we start, looking for new members. So it's not something that is just like, anybody can join. No, we have to have a sit down. You have to come to a meeting, and we ask that, what can you offer us as a group, and what can you offer the community? And we take a vote on it on whether or not if we want that member or that person to become a member. Most likely, everybody becomes a member because everybody has something to offer.
Dice que para buscar miembros para su grupo, ellos hacen una entrevista y quieren ver si ellos van a traer algo positivo a la organización, a su grupo, a su equipo. Y muchos de ellos buscan solicitudes de enero a junio y mucha de esa gente los reciben porque todo el mundo tiene algo de contribuir y a regalar a su comunidad. So, ellos lo traen y entonces hacen una entrevista, pero lo más seguro, si alguien que quieren donar su tiempo y tienen un talento que puede donar también, ellos seguiditas te reciben. So you get new members, you come in, and now they just say, I'm here, right? I interviewed, I got in. What's my next event? What's the first thing I'm getting my hands on?
Well, the first thing you're going to get your hands on is the money that you're going to give us to be a member.
Wait a second, I got to pay you to volunteer? That's all you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. I mean, there is an application fee and a membership fee. We do pay dues every month. It's nothing spectacular, Mm-hmm. We pay like $15 a month. We don't try to break nobody's pockets because we know everybody, situation is different. So That's just something that we keep into our bank account so that when we do, these events, like our event that we have coming up on June 4th, you know, our monies go towards that and towards the community. Everything that comes in to us goes right back out to the community. We don't keep a dime for ourselves.
Él dice que lo primero que tienen que hacer es soltar el bolsillo, porque necesita su dinero. Para ser un miembro, tiene que donar, o sea, no es mucho para ser un miembro, y tampoco mensualmente no es mucho, es $15. Pero todo eso, todo el dinero que ellos traen, va directamente a la comunidad, a sus eventos. Entonces ellos no se quedan ni un centavo. Now, you say volunteer work in the community, you say mentors. Now, is it like a mentorship program that you have going on? Is there a school of choice that you have, or how do you find these kids to help?
Well, we just reach out to local community leaders and local centers. Like for Christmas, we always adopt the ABCD kids, and we bring them Christmas presents. Sometimes we adopt a single family for Christmas. You know, there's no specific criteria. It's just if it's somebody that's in need or needs help, and somebody reaches out to us, we help them out. I mean, literally just last month, there was a family who got burned out. I think it was on Easter Sunday, and we donated food, clothes, money to them to help them, you know, get back on their feet during that Easter holiday, so they would at least have Easter dinner with their family.
Dice el caballero que ellos buscan organizaciones que están trabajando con la gente que necesitan, y así buscan la gente que necesitan ayuda. Con otros líderes de la comunidad, ellos identifican las personas que necesitan. Y lo último que ellos hicieron fue que el día de Pascua había una familia que se quemó la casa, y ellos fueron y donaron y apoyaron a esa familia en su momento de necesidad. Y eso es bien importante para ellos, es lo más importante. So you organize these events that you have also, right? So you work on individuals one-on-one as they are being identified throughout the year, but you also have community events, right, that are just open to the community?
Yes, we do. Coming up on June 4th, like some of the pictures you're seeing now are from our previous unity dinners that we have. We have a unity dinner that we do every year for the community. That's for us telling the community thank you and showing support for us, so we give back to them. Every 4th of July, we do a free cookout down at Seaside Park. Only thing we ask people to bring is a canned goods so we could donate it to a local food bank. We do fish fries. This year, our fish fry, we don't have an exact date. It's to be determined right now. But all the proceeds from the fish fry is going to go to the youth soccer teams that we have around the city. Some of the baseball teams, like the Newfield Little League baseball team, the North End baseball team, some of the basketball teams at the Rafael Teller Center. We donated a scoreboard to the Rafael Teller Center a couple of years ago as well. So everything we do, like I say, we're nonprofit. We don't take no money from anybody. Everything that we get, we give back.
Dice que ellos tienen muchos eventos que ellos hacen. Anualmente hay una cena que ellos hacen para celebrar su comunidad y coger dinero, supuestamente para la comunidad, para dar para atrás y tener dinero para tener eventos. Uno de los eventos que ellos hacen es una comida gratis el 4 de julio en Seaside Park, allí en Bridgeport, y ellos solamente piden una donación de una lata de comida para entonces darle para atrás a la comunidad. Y entonces para ellos es siempre bien importante, lo más importante y lo que es presente y primero siempre es la comunidad y cómo ellos puedan ayudar. Y también hace un pescado frito y una donación, sí, ellos hacen una cena de pescado frito también. A Will y Cotrina le gustó eso, para allá va a comprarse su cena de pescado, pero también ellos hacen ello. So you're talking about this dinner that's coming up. Are there anyone specifically we're celebrating at this dinner? And when is it? Or where is it? And a couple of details. And, of course, this is a nonprofit for those who are listening out there. We do not promote any businesses. We promote nonprofits on this station, and that's what this community member is doing.
So the event on June 4th is going to be taking place at Vazzi's Four Seasons in Stratford. It's on June 4th from 7 to 11. we don't really like celebrate one specific person. We celebrate each member of our group because that's the only time where the community really get to see who are the men behind the me and the boys, who is me and who are the boys. So I'm me and the rest of the people are the boys. We have another member, our president, Kenneth Soares, he's me and I'm a boy, you know. So it's everybody, you know. We have our board members, which is Kenneth Soares, he's our president. Francisco Soares Jr., he's our vice president. Tyrell Staples, our financial advisor. Frank Soares Sr., he's our treasurer. And Ronald Jones is our master at arms. So, and then we have Paul Cummins as an alternate board member, just in case, like if we have to vote and we have a standstill, the vote goes to the board makes the final decision, and then, you know, that's how we make some of our decisions. But we don't just celebrate one single person, we celebrate everybody in the group.
Él dice que en la cena no celebran una persona específicamente, ellos celebran el grupo entero, porque esa es una de las oportunidades que la comunidad se conocen a la gente que están trabajando tras, tú sabes, haciendo los movimientos y organizando la gente y las comidas y todo esto que ellos hacen. Entonces ellos celebran uno a lo otro, porque el grupo se llama Me and the Boys. So cada persona es una persona, una persona individual, pero también es parte de un grupo. Y siempre es yo y mis amigos. Y esto te quiero decir de nuevo, que esta es una organización totalmente de hombres de color. Totalmente. Que dona su tiempo y sus esfuerzos y su energía para nuestra comunidad. We always talk about the pulse of our community right now. You know, you guys are all on the streets. You're grassroots. I mean, you got boots to the ground, and this we can call it a war, daily battle, especially in the urban areas. You know, I've been to Bridgeport. You know, Father Panic isn't there anymore, neither is you know, all those concentrations of poverty are gone. But we still, in Bridgeport specifically, you still have a large group of minorities that are just, you know, on that poverty line. What are some of the things that you guys are seeing right now in regards to the youth?
Really, it's terrible because, you know, with the funding and the city taking away all the funds for the kids, and they don't have nowhere to go but on these street corners. They can't even go to a basketball court, some of them, because, you know, some of them, the basketball courts need to be redone. And, you know, without the programs like the after school programs or something for the kids to do just to get off the streets, we don't even have that. So now that's why we're trying to partner with the baseball teams and the soccer teams and the basketball teams to help them get their sports off the ground, so we can get some of these kids there. Some of the kids don't have enough money to pay their fees. We help, you know, we make donations so that some of the kids can go for free. So that's just part of the things that we do. And the main thing is that, you know, the city doesn't have the funding for the kids to do anything, and the only thing they have left is the streets besides us. And there's only so much that we can do as a group for ourselves, but, you know, we try to make it work as best as possible.
Él dice ahora que en Bridgeport, como muchas ciudades aquí en Connecticut, los fondos de dinero para la juventud, la comunidad, ya no existen. So, ellos están tratando de llenar ese roto vacío ahora con donaciones. So, ellos están tratando de trabajar con otros equipos juventiles, como el fútbol latino, y pelota, y baloncesto. Y ellos tratan de dar una donación a los jóvenes que quieren participar, porque estos eventos ya no existen, no hay fondos para la juventud. So, ¿qué hay oportunidad? La calle. So, si ellos no dan la oportunidad a la joven que están envueltos en un deporte o algo, la otra opción es la calle. Y estos caballeros están juntos para ayudar lo más posible, porque es imposible ayudar a todo el mundo, porque ellos son un grupo pequeño, con dinero que no es tan largo, pero están tratando de hacer lo más posible con su oportunidad. So you help the scholarships of the youth. That's great. Do you do one-on-one mentoring or anything to that effect, or You know,
we've tried to do the one-on-one mentoring. I mean, we can only put ourselves out there and tell the youth, hey, this is where we're going to be at. We can't just drag kids off the street and say, hey, come over here, let me show you something. Like sometimes I can bet you any amount of money right now, you can go to any young man 18 and over and ask them how to tie a tie, and they don't know how to. So we try to just keep it, you know, basic. Learning how to tie a tie, shake a man's hand, look him in the eye when you talk to him, you know, how to have proper etiquette when you're eating. Just the basic stuff that they don't even teach in school. Some people don't even get it at home. So, you know, we don't even have a space right now we don't have the space to have the kids come off the street and just sit down with us one-on-one. Some of them don't want that one-on-one time. Some of them just want to be in the streets, and it's hard to be out on the streets every day. You know, most people in our group got jobs, got families, got kids. So our time is limited. And when we do get the time, if we don't get the participation, there's not really much we can do if they're not participating.
Él dice que intentarlo hacer uno a uno, ayudar la juventud, pero es bien difícil. So, lo que ellos hacen es, ellos tienen un evento y invita a toda la juventud que venga al evento, y allí ellos tratan de enseñarle cosas básicas a los jóvenes, como amarrar una corbata, algo tan básico, o saludar a un hombre con la mano firme, mirarlo a los ojos uno a uno. Cosas básicas así para uno desarrollarse un poco más en negocio, en su comunidad. Pero es difícil dándole la oportunidad en estos eventos para traerle esta juventud afuera de la calle, porque la calle lo llama más atención de los eventos que ellos tienen. Ellos quieren estar, ¿sabes? Como los jóvenes son, quieren estar, ¿sabes? Con sus amistades, haciendo cosas en el vecindario que no deben. Y ellos están dando una oportunidad para algo diferente, para tomar decisiones diferentes. We do have the youth, and they are divided, and it's hard to capture their attention. And I will give that, because you're competing not only with the streets, but you're also competing with gaming. You're competing with social media. You're competing with a lot more than just the streets, because the streets is calling, but you know what I'm saying, Call of Duty calls too sometimes. And
trust me, me and my son, we play Call of Duty too. So sometimes I get caught up in the gaming too. So yeah, I'm guilty of it.
But you're trying to provide these basic, you're hitting on a very, very sensitive sore spot, because there is no home economics anymore. I remember growing up, we had home ec. If you weren't good in home ec, they put you in wood shop, and if you wasn't good in wood shop, you end up in metal shop with all the bad kids. But you were still doing some kind of trade, even though you were with all the bad kids. You were in metal shop, burning things up and breaking them. But you still had like basic skills. You know how to solder something. You know what I'm saying? You had like something to work on, and that's not there anymore. No. How do you feel that gap? How do we fill that gap as a community?
As a community, I mean, it has to start with home. I mean, it definitely has to start with home. If the structure at home is not good, then for that child themselves, their structure is not good. Mm-hmm. For me, I had that. I'm adopted, but I came from a 2-parent household. My uncle raised me. My uncle was in the military. As a kid, we grow up. We used to have bedroom inspections, creases, 45-degree angles on your bed, tight where you could drop a quarter on it. Some kids don't have that. Nowadays, we have kids growing up in a 1-parent household, and women can't raise men.
I mean, you're touching on a very sensitive subject there. I mean, but the example of a male role model in the house, I believe is important, just as equally as having the female. I mean, I think they both have equal weight, but you can't just put it on a female to raise a young man in society. It is very, very difficult. And lo que dice el señor es que en su juventud, lo primero y lo más importante es la estructura de la familia. Eso es lo más importante. Y sin estructura en la familia no se puede lograr nada, no se puede hacer nada. Y en su juventud, él fue adoptado por su tío y su tía, y ellos le ayudó a tener esa estructura en su vida, porque el tío era parte de la militar. Y cuando había inspecciones de la cama, y tenía que estar cuadradito a los 45 grados, todito. Tenía que ser perfecto. Entonces, con esa estructura en su vida, él echó para adelante también y logró lo que puede lograr por esa estructura, pero con la familia es bien importante. Y necesita un balance en la casa porque él se crió en una casa con una mujer y un hombre, papá y mamá. Y hoy en día la juventud no tienen los dos, solamente tiene la mamá. Y es bien importante tener un hombre también como un ejemplo para dar un balance en su vida, para dar las dos posiciones. Entonces, la juventud te puede tomar sus decisiones propias como quiere vivir. We talk about the single family households. I want to talk a little bit about you because you're ex-military. You're right.
Yes.
You're ex-military, and I think so. Thank you for your service, first and foremost. I appreciate that. I come from a family with many veterans. I can't even count them on two hands. That's how many I've involved. How was that instrumental in your development? There's going to be like a 3-part question. How was it important to you? Would you recommend it to someone who needs structure in their lives? Mm-hmm. And how does that benefit you now as a giving person in the community?
Well, for me, growing up, my father was in the Army. And as a kid, 4 or 5 years old, I used to go down to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, watch my father jump out of airplanes, the Sicily drop zone. And as a kid, that was something I wanted to do from the time I was 4. And when I graduated high school, I knew I was going into the military. I didn't know if I was going right after high school or when I was going, but I knew I was going. And for me, the experience was more than anything that money can buy. And I'll do it all over again if I had to. And for me, I think that every young man should at least give 2 years of their lives to service because it teaches them the basics. Like how to become a man, it teaches you how to tie a tie, it teaches you how to talk to people. It teaches you discipline, it teaches you responsibility. And it's also a brotherhood. So you have many guys and females nowadays from every walk of life that go into the service and they give their life. Some of them gave their lives for this country. And for me to give a service for this country and to come back and for us still be treated in a low manner, like back in the 60s, 50s, you know, that's still a gap that needs to be bridged. Because I remember one time walking through the airport in my uniform and I had people literally clapping for me, telling me thank you. I was only walking to the bathroom to change my uniform. But when I changed my uniform, it was a different approach. You know, I wasn't getting those claps. I was getting those stares. I was getting those people clutching their purses. You know, so for me, the experience was good and bad. And for now, I would say it would benefit any young man to come out of high school, do 2 years. If they want to re-enlist, they should. I re-enlisted. I was gonna do a whole 20. I did 8, but I was injured.
Wow.
So I got out of the medical.
Was really in it.
Yeah. That was me. That was my mindset. I was all gun-ho Joe Navy, if you would say.
All right, let me translate this for the audience that's out there and listening to us in Spanish. So él cuando él tenía 4 años, el papá de él era parte del militar y fue a Norte de Carolina, a Fort Bragg, y vio a su papá brincando de aviones y vio muchas cosas y él decidió a esa edad que eso es lo que él quería hacer, ser parte del militar. Y dice que le ayudó bastante su estructura en su vida. Y piensa que todos los jóvenes deben pensarlo bien y dedicarse 2 años, o menos 2 años de ser parte de la militar, porque allí tú aprendes mucho. Aprendes de cómo ser un hermano o hermana, porque ahora son mujeres y hombres que están parte del militar, pero tú eres parte de una familia, tú eres parte de un equipo. parte de algo por primera vez en su vida, es algo bueno para desarrollarse. Entonces, venir para atrás y a ser parte de la comunidad. Y dice que a veces es difícil, era difícil cuando él era parte del militar, porque cuando tenía uniforme lo trataban en una manera. Pero seguida que cambiaba en la ropa regular, se recordaba que todavía hay problemas en nuestra comunidad, porque todo el mundo ahora lo ve como un hombre de color y quizás a veces alguien que es peligroso, pero no saben que en realidad está sirviendo en nuestro país. Eso es lo bueno y lo malo de ser parte del militar, que también la gente te conocen, te aplauden, pero seguida que te cambian un uniforme, vuelve para atrás como ser humano y te recuerda que la comunidad no acepta todo el mundo total como deben hacer. No estamos en los 60 y los 70, pero todavía existe ese racismo, esa discriminación en nuestra vida. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here really quick, Mr. Stewart. So I'm going to give you the floor real quick. If there's anything you want to share specifically, I do want you to mention the event one more time, and and anything else you want, what comes to mind.
So again, our unity dinner is June 4th, Saturday, June 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. at Boyz Four Seasons in Stratford. And I just want people to know that I'm very passionate about helping like my veterans and anybody that needs help. If it wasn't for my wife, I probably wouldn't be as passionate as I am now. She opened my eyes to a lot of different things now. And so I try to do good, and like my wife say, don't block my blessings. So I'm here to bless whoever needs the blessing, as long as I'm still getting my blessing in return. I'm here to help everyone.
Okay, como escuchaste ahora, el 4 de junio, tiene el evento. Where is it again, the event?
At Boyz Four Seasons in Stratford.
Boyz Four Seasons, and what time should they be there?
The doors open at 7.
Okay,
The doors open at 6:30, I think, but the event starts at 7.
Entonces, abren la puerta a las 6:30, empieza a las 7. Si quieren donar o conseguirlo, se pueden conseguir Me and the Boyz, MENTHEBOYZ. Me and the Boyz. Y dice él que también gracias a su esposa, porque la esposa lo apoya a él y lo empuja y le da el esfuerzo porque él necesita para dar y seguir su pasión, a donar su tiempo a la comunidad, y la esposa de él lo apoya y lo echa para adelante y lo agradece ella a su esposa. So I will say this, Mr. Stewart, personally, thank you very much for donating your time and your efforts to the community, and hopefully that Me and the Boyz keeps growing. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You get more members, you get more money, because more members mean more money, bigger events, you know what I'm saying? And bigger hot dogs.
Yeah. We'll be able to do more things, we'll be able to do more. We're actually looking for a building so we can, have our own space. So.
That's the future. All right. So hopefully next time we're talking about the building fund and we're not talking church.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what's up. All right. My name's Jose Candelario. You're listening to K-PASA here at WNHH 103.5 FM, La Voz Hispana Radio from downtown New Haven, streaming live on La Voz Hispana CT, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, www.lavozhispana.radio.com. Como siempre, estamos aquí en WNHH 103.5 FM, La Voz Hispana Radio desde Downtown New Haven, y streaming live La Voz Hispana CT en Facebook, YouTube y Twitter, www.lavozhispanaradio.com. Soy José Candelario. Gracias por su tiempo y tengan buenas tardes. All right, Mrs. Stewart, I thank you for your time. We are off air. I appreciate everything you've done. I'm going to make sure that we're friends on Facebook. I think, I don't know, are you Stewart? Are you like Jeff Stewart Face or something like that?
Yes, Jeff Stewart Face Pacino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just friend requesting. I'm like, Face? Was it a stage name? You're a comedian? So it's up there. It's going to be up there on in about 5 minutes. We should have it, and I'll send you the link. Now that just accept my friend request, then I can at least tag you in it. Then you can share, on your group page and all that.
All right, I'm going to look for it right now.
No me tienen que enseñar. Ella ve que son un cabezón. Está buscando estamos hablando ahí de Facebook. All right, I'm going to go offline because my director needs to go do some other shit. So we'll be in touch.
All right, I'll accept your friend request. I'm just getting on there right now, but thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Man, thank you for the last minute thing, man. And anytime you got an event, you got my number and information, you know what I'm saying? Just, if you want to do it in a month in advance or something, we can bring you back on. Let's talk about something else.
Not a problem. I just accepted your friend request.
All right, then I'll get on and send you that link real quick.
All right, thanks.
All right, be good, man.